Is this fun? I hope so. Hey, welcome to A Bold and Distant Future. We're going to get right into it and talk about what's happening, break down the week of news. And I think we're joined by three guests. I think we have Craig, Eddie, and Scooter today.
Hello out there.
Hello, fans.
Salam alaikum.
Well, you're going to get us in trouble, Eddie. You got to stop with that. That's it.
Just a little phrase I picked up when I was working in the Middle East.
Address your letters to Eddie, everyone.
Yeah.
Care of A Bold and Distant Future. Visit our Instagram channel. I have an Instagram channel, and I'm going to put up some portions of the show on the Instagram platform, which I have done in the past. I don't know if you found that, but A Bold and Distant Future. We have a Facebook and we have an Instagram, and I'm trying to cross connect the platforms. Well, I think Trump is falling apart. Don't you think he's looks like a shell of his former self? I mean,
He looks like me at 9 o'clock at night, even during a day meeting.
Well, we have something to look forward to.
He looks like me at 2 in the morning after a very interesting evening.
He's just always rocking. Hands Across America. This is a way out there thing. This is May 25th, 2026. It looks like we're going to try to do a human chain connecting from coast to coast.
Oh.
So that looks like an interesting thing to get.
Didn't this
involved.
happen once before?
I think it did.
Well, 40 years ago, to be exact.
Yes. In the 70s, maybe? When was that? 80s? I don't know. They're going to try to do it again.
I hope we're not also going to try to sing "We Are the World" in unison.
Yeah, let's not do that.
I was thinking that old Coke commercial, I'd like to be, something.
I'd like to teach the world
I was thinking
to
that
sing.
clip art I used to see in elementary school with all the little people all the way around the world. I'm thinking, why stop at America?
Yeah. There's a couple of bodies of water that might kind of...
Yeah, we'll just look for some good swimmers to fill in those gaps.
Yeah, maybe some Venezuelan fishermen or something.
Good idea.
Well, Trump coined the term Sleepy Joe. What are we going to go with? What is his name? We need a name. Sleepy Donald? I guess something. Sleepy Don?
Sleepy Don. How about just Sleepy Tea?
Maybe Sleepy Tea, Tired
That's
Tea?
catchy.
Yeah, it sounds like celestial seasonings.
It kind of does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sleepy Time. Well, that company started up in your neck of the woods, didn't it, Eddie?
I wish I could tell you.
I think it did.
There's a Sweet Tea. It's a restaurant here. I don't know if it's connected.
Well, this happened. Pete Hegseth was, at the same meeting, and someone put an SS in front of the secretary, or an extra S, so it looks like SS. Now, was that a joke? Was it subconscious admission of something? Connections? SS, Secretary of War?
Yeah, I just saw a little clip from South Park. Hegseth coming into the town during the turkey trot. I'm just like laughing out loud. This guy is such a joke.
Yes, Scooter, I went back and watched all of the other South Parks, and we talked a little bit in the previous episode, and it is rude, crude, and totally hysterical.
Yeah.
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 That whole thing about the power Christian principle is the one that really kills me. Takes on Jesus.
Yeah. Ever met anybody like that?
Not in their full power. I know there are some people that probably I've met that way that didn't let themselves be known to me, you know what I mean? But you just had a vague inkling that it could go that direction at any time.
I think I hang out in the wrong circles.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah, you got to expand your social circles.
I don't know if it's an expansion or not, but yeah, somehow. Well, they're bombing boats off the coast of Venezuela. I'm assuming all of these boats they're shooting are in international waters, or are they not?
I have a roommate who is like totally on board with this, and his big thing is, yes, they are in international waters, therefore the law does not apply. He is, of course, full of it, but yeah, they're in international waters.
Okay.
There's a Venezuelan family whose father and son were blown up in one of these things that I believe
Jesus.
is trying to start procedures to sue.
I hope they do. I mean, that seems like such small change in reaction to what's really happening, which is a war crime. And, typically war crimes don't really get settled with monetary reimbursement. Typically, you go to The Hague and get sent up for the rest of your life. But we know that's not going to happen.
We do.
We can dream.
And I still profess my belief that this is just a total distraction from other stuff that's going on.
Well, the stuff that's going on that's going to impact us all is not making the news.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Pete Hegseth posted this on his X page.
Yeah, this is kind of a travesty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's bring a children's book character into the Department of War. Perfect.
I guess it's not a real book.
Well, the Franklin series is a beloved series. I think they're created by a Canadian team. They're not an American book, I believe.
Well, there's room for a lawsuit.
Yeah. I hope they're getting sued, but I don't know how you sue for a parody, but maybe you can.
Fair point.
But it's just in such bad taste. It coalesces their base. Here's a takeoff on this one. Franklin goes to The Hague.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about bad taste, yet we were just talking about South Park. It shows kind of the mentality and quite possibly the mental age of people that are doing this.
Yes, I think that's exactly right.
It could indicate Hegseth's level of reading.
That too.
I think it has to at least violate copyright laws, if nothing else.
I think fair use comes into play. Somebody's going overtime into this. It's hilarious.
It was hilarious.
Nicely rendered.
I think someone really did the artwork. It doesn't look AI to me. It looks like someone put paint to brush, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad at all. So, what's going to happen with Hegseth? What do you guys think?
I don't know.
He won't make it through 4 years.
Well, I'm feeling like he's about to get thrown under the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a sacrificial lamb, but they'll just play out the drama of distraction, as Eddie opined. Yep. This could last for a month or two.
I mean, that's their technique.
Or
right?
at least the next couple of news cycles, yeah.
Yeah.
Just to get rid of him so there won't be any Senate hearings or any investigation,
Oh, I think there probably will be a Senate hearing.
regardless of whether he's replaced immediately, or I think they'll do the Senate hearing first.
Well, I think it's in the cards, isn't it? Aren't they already having a hearing about this?
I don't know.
I'm a little disconnected from this, so I honestly don't know. But my impression is that Congress is taking a fairly hard look at this. And he's managed to estrange a few Republicans from Trump with this.
Yeah.
The obvious one is Rand Paul.
But I'm still thinking about that center image here. What's the exact end date? They had a month to release the files. What's the end date on that? Isn't it like the middle of December, which we're approaching rapidly?
December 19th. That's what I understand.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's ramp up the bullshit so that people forget they're supposed to be releasing the files. Did any of you, speaking of that, did any of you see the images they released of Fantasy Island?
I saw one or two. I saw this room with all of these bizarre-looking masks.
Yes. A dentist chair in the middle.
And the dentist chair.
And then there's a room with 4 chairs in incredibly bad upholstery. Who designed that place?
Here's a little video segment, guys. It's about maybe 2 minutes.
Worked hard doing security, and they have been absolutely fantastic. Sir, you made it through hurricane season without a hurricane. And so FEMA, you kept the hurricanes away. So we appreciate that. And FEMA is deploying resources and dollars 150% faster than ever before. So somebody does have something bad that happens to them, you were immediately there helping them and telling them they have the resources to get back up on their feet. Worked hard doing.
Wow.
Yeah, if you want to lose your lunch, watch the video of all of those cabinet members heaping their praise onto the big guy.
Did he have his eyes open?
I think
He
mostly.
was nodding, whether that was sleep or not. Yeah, he kept us safe from hurricanes.
New technology that we haven't heard of yet, but I'm sure he'll be chatting that one up soon. Along with the 8 wars, no hurricanes.
Well, probably didn't have a passport. The hurricane. I mean,
Who is worse? This is a segment I hope to put up from time to time. I'm trying to do segments. So I'll put up 2 faces, people you know, and we each have a chance to say who we think is worse.
is there an answer?
I'm not going to supply an answer. I thought I could put a big green check mark after the one that I think is worse. So we're comparing Stephen Miller.
Yeah, that's a high bar.
Or Satan.
Yeah. Okay.
So who's the other one?
Long intro, sorry.
I mean, this guy's a straight up Nazi.
Pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
Howard
I'm going to go with
Higgs.
Steve Miller.
Definitely Stephen Miller.
Stephen Miller's got my vote.
I think that's pretty much where I was landing too. But
I mean,
having
the green
an
check mark?
having an incompetent at the head of the Department of Defense is pretty dangerous. Could be worse.
Yeah, but Stephen Miller is behind the scenes doing God knows what.
Yes, I'm with you on that.
I mean, he's just all around a bad guy. Hegseth is an idiot.
And kind of a pawn. And
Yeah.
Miller, I think, is in for the long haul. I think Hegseth will be gone before. He won't make the 4 years. He'll be relieved of duty.
I would be surprised if he makes it the next 4 months. Yeah, it's.
So will Kash Patel.
So let's go
But-
green check mark. It looks like it's pretty unanimous that Stephen Miller is worse. So we'll put a green mark there.
I mean, he even looks menacing. Hegseth looks like, the kids in school who used to play cop.
Yeah, he's got this certain Ted Knight quality for me. Like, what is that? The character from Mary Tyler Moore. Is it Baxter? Ted Baxter. He's like
Yeah.
that kind of a little bit puffing himself up and befuddled and clueless.
So, as the world turns, there's no cloud cover. What's up with that? Whoa.
Hey, there's Venezuela.
I could add graphics of little explosions going on.
I think you should work on that, Roy.
I could do that in my free time.
Every time the world comes around.
This was the most horrible display of public display of his racism, I think, to date, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is where I'd like to come in for a second or two, if you don't mind.
Please.
Yeah, this is my neighborhood. And he's going after Ilhan Omar as well, calling her and calling them garbage that come from a garbage nation. The crossing of the Rubicon is this. This is the first time I'm aware of, and I could be wrong, where he's specifying a specific ethnicity and calling them subhuman, which is basically what this is. That's Nazi. This is the same thing that the Hutus did with the Tutsis, right? Before the big genocide that occurred in Rwanda, they were filling the airwaves with messages about how the Tutsis were no better than cockroaches. And you can go back and look at the anti-Semitic garbage that came out of Germany. It's the same thing. The Jews were compared to rats. This language is important, I think. And I think that the moment he starts talking about humans as being something other than human, we've really entered a new area. And it should be terrifying. That's all.
Well, the dehumanization of others is right out of the fascist playbook,
Yes, but fascists historically have tended to be more or less oriented towards ideological, right? So, they're anti-communist, they're anti-socialist. But the fascists in Italy, to my knowledge, never really traded in anti-Semitism until the Nazis really came in. It was the Nazis who, from the get-go, were referring to whole groups of people as less than human, and certainly not on par with the Aryans. But, they went after the Jews, they went after the Gypsies, they went after the gays, they went after people with disabilities, and they termed them, a lot of them, useless eaters, right? And again, they referred to the Jews with images of rats. If you've ever seen that movie, I don't remember the name of it. The Eternal Jew, is that it, or is that a book? And now it's happening to our Somali population. As if there's enough Somalis in Minnesota to make a hair of difference. We have a mayoral candidate who is Somali, and we have a representative in Congress who is Somali. And that's the extent of the influence. So what is he going on about? And then to refer to the entire country as a garbage country where people walk around and kill each other, that, on an international scale, that sends a really dire message to any country that is underdeveloped.
It's not the first time he's done it either. As you remember, he referred to certain countries as shithole countries.
True, but here he's actually specifying.
Yeah. Well, and isn't Tim Walz in the same neighborhood? And, of course, we know that he called him retarded again.
Yeah, probably one of the most proficient governors Minnesota's ever had. I'm a big Tim Walz fan. I think he'd make a hell of a good president. But, yeah. But that is Trump. He's always calling people's names.
Yeah, of course.
Is it his declining mental state? Is that why he's unable to hold it back anymore? Is it, what do they call it?
No, I think it's his upbringing coming out finally.
Right.
I mean, his father was Klansman.
Right.
Just to remind everybody.
Well, this is the Mass Blackout Wheel of Solidarity, and we spin it, and it landed today on a positive way we can contribute. The one we've got today is do a ride, share, carpool. So don't forget that as a positive thing to do. And this is coming from the massblackout.com, which is a really great website, and they have a lot of links to other organizations and websites. So it's a good place to kind of go putter around, and I borrowed this directly, and we'll be revisiting the Wheel of Solidarity as we move forward.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with this Somali information. Sadly, it just seems like a blip. I don't know if it's going to...
It's not a blip. They're going to hit St. Paul and Minneapolis hard. And I got to say, I have a lot of respect for the leaders of both towns. Both mayors have come out and supported the Somali community. And we even had the chief of police in Minneapolis say that they're not going to coordinate in any way with ICE, that they're not going to support ICE. And in fact, they're telling people if they see violence on the street from ICE to call it in.
Well, that's good. I mean, that news is not getting through to the national news services that I watch, but I'm glad you're here to tell us about that. And, if you see a news article or something, you can screenshot it, send it, we'll include it in the show, because to follow this in your location is really, we're lucky to have you here.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'll try to throw something together. Maybe we can review it and then see if it's worth putting on this podcast.
It definitely is.
And Scooter, is it correct that when you say call it...
Sorry, you broke up. I got Scooter.
To call it in, call the act of violence in, they would call 911.
I believe so. I believe that's the idea.
I love that idea, because then you're, instead of the narrative flooding the zone, now you're beginning to use all the influence and access that you can to make it known the impact of violence. Yep. Cool.
Yeah, I think I caught most of that. The thing is that you mentioned it's just now making the national news. This stuff has been going on for the better part, actually longer than a month.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that the Somalis haven't been explicitly targeted yet. But they've been showing up at Home Depots, at Lowe's. They've been hitting up construction sites. They've been busting people who are fixing roofs. It's bad here. there is a fairly militant response, but there's also a whole lot of snow. So that tends to impede things a bit.
Keep us informed on this, because this is I've got another person who might be joining us from Montana. I'd love to get people from other states if we know other people living in other areas of the country, so we have kind of a representation and a way to kind of report back to us as a group. That's my dream for the show, is to have that, and I really appreciate you bringing that up to us today, Scooter. Thank you.
You bet. And one other thing, can we stay online for another few seconds?
Yeah, we're not going anywhere.
We didn't really talk about the shooting of those two National Guardsmen.
No, I didn't get that in the show.
I think that's worth mentioning. I came across a piece, and I think I sent it to you, where apparently the suspect, Afghan national, was recruited into a CIA death squad at age 14.
I read that.
Now, this is coming from Democracy Now!, and I trust Democracy Now!, but they're a great source for news that is going to blow everybody's mind. It's basically, this is not going to get picked up by the national news. This is just too heavy. But the implication is that we took children in Afghanistan, recruited them to become child soldiers, allowed them their share of kills, then brought them into the United States, thinking that there's no price to pay. This guy probably has major PTSD, and God knows what triggered the shooting. But I seriously think it was a mental state as opposed to any sort of ideological jihadist anything. I think this is worth watching. And then Trump's reaction is to just turn the volume up to 11. Because of this guy, now there's 19 countries that are not allowed to immigrate to the United States, or possibly even visit. I don't know. And they're going after dual citizenship now.
Oh, really? So if you haven't denounced your home country when you move to America, they don't want you anymore?
Yeah, and then they're going after naturalized citizens and green card holders, all on the basis of this shooting. I kind of wonder if Trump feels that he doesn't have a whole lot of time left, is trying to pack as much as he possibly can of Steve Miller's advice and Project 2025 in order to wreck the country before he goes. He's bringing it down with him.
Yeah, I mean, in this sense, I do think it's an important story because, it's sort of central to their immigration policy, but I see it as a kind of a one-off thing, though, in a way. The actual impetus, this guy's a pretty rare person, the CIA operative that worked for us that now is back here. It's not a trend in any way.
Yeah, I don't know all too many people that have actually gone through that. One or two maybe.
They're definitely trying to use it as a way to ramp up their, shutdown on immigration, aren't they?
Yeah.
And what does it point out?
The no immigrants thing has always been part of the alt-right playbook. I mean, it is huge in Europe, massive in Europe. There's a book, I'm trying to remember the name of it. Something of the Saints, written by a French guy who is basically, basically a fascist. And the whole thing is a fantasy about how the Catholic Church encourages immigration from Africa during some kind of horrific event. And the Africans arrive and they are all like stone, evil, barbarian savages that just wreck the place. The main character, apparently, is this very large African gentleman who eats human feces. That's the level that this goes. And this book, Feast of the Saints, is that it? That book is huge in Europe, and it's here. People here are reading it.
So it's sort of a alt-right whatever you want to call it, a Nazi book, like that other Turner Diary, something like that. It's like it's on their bedside table.
Yeah, Turner Diaries is straight up Nazi. I mean, they make no apologies about it. This thing, Something of the Saints, is meant to appeal across the board to anybody who is scared of people with dark skin.
And is this a recent book?
That's been around for quite a while.
Yeah, delving into that literature it exposes a mindset that I think many of us can't comprehend, but it seems like that's what they feed upon. Things
Once again, we need to expand our social circle.
That reinforces their bias.
It's a combination of fear and hate. People who grow up in small little bubbles, like, I don't know, Montecito, tend towards this because it confirms biases about everybody they're oppressing. We're in dangerous times.
We are in dangerous times, and that's why I think doing the show is important. I don't think we're ever going to solve the problem, but I just want this show to be a place that raises awareness and answers some questions. And you brought up a lot of good ones, and I've been writing a lot of these things down, and hopefully I'll put them in the next shows. But please send me things for future shows, screenshots, even short videos, anything you think is valuable, and we can put it up here, and then maybe a few others will see it, and then the awareness grows.
I'm just curious.
Yes, go ahead.
Before we leave, did any of you guys see Robert Reich's? I don't know what I want to call it. It's a short video piece I think it's also written on Palantir, the corporation in Silicon Valley that's been charged with collating all of the information on everybody in the United States.
Yeah, I did hear about this. I don't know if Palantir specifically, but
yeah, it's Palantir. Check it out. See if you can find the article. I'll see if I can find it again. I'll put it up on our feed.
Please do.
Definitely worth considering when you talk about threat to democracy and people's way of life.
Camp of the Saints.
Camp of the Saints.
Okay.
Came out in 1973.
Oh, wow.
Is written by Jean, I'm going to murder this, Raspail, Raspail.
I'll put it up.
Yeah, look it up.
I will. Hey, thank you everyone again for being here. Thank you for adding your voice and being part of this thing we're trying to do, which I think is important. Please come back again, everyone. Thanks for anyone listening today.